are starting our first true crime ASMR story. This story is going to be about the disappearance of Madeleine McCann, who was a beautiful 3-year-old little girl who was possibly kidnapped from their room on vacation in Praia de Luz, Portugal. Now, Kate and Gary McCann, Madeleine's parents, went on this vacation with 7 of their friends plus 8 children. So at night, when all of the kids were sleeping, they all decided to go have dinner on the on-site tapas restaurant and leave the children in their rooms while checking on them every 30 minutes. Now, this was April 28th, 2007. They were staying at the Luz Ocean Club, which had condos that opened outside instead of inwards. So parents decided to all go out to eat for dinner and leave the children sleeping. Around 8:35 p.m., the parents left for dinner. Instead of leaving the front door unlocked as to not wake the children, they left their sliding doors unlocked so they could go in and out more quietly. At 9:05, Jerry, Madeleine McCann's dad, went to check on them and noticed that the door was left slightly open, which he didn't remember doing. He thought all was fine and decided to check on them, saw all the kids were still sleeping and perfectly fine, and on his way back to the restaurant, he had met with an old friend who was walking by. Well, another one of the parents, Jane Danner, she saw Jerry and his friend Jeremy talking, but they never saw her. At this time, she had also seen a man carrying a small child in pink pajamas away from the resort. Now, she didn't think really anything of this. She knew Jerry was going to check on his kids, and for all she knew, they're on vacation, so it could have easily been a parent carrying their sleeping child. So, Jerry and Jane went back to dinner, and around 9:30, Matt went and checked on all of the children. Well, he looked into Jerry and Kate's room and saw both twins sleeping soundly, and likely assumed that Madeleine was in there as well, but it was dark, and he doesn't remember exactly seeing her. At 10 o'clock, Kate went back to check on her children. Noticed when she opened the door slammed back into her as if there was pressure from an open window. And this is when she noticed that Madeleine was just gone. She immediately left the twins sleeping and ran to go get her husband, screaming, "They took her, they took her." Well, by 10:15, cops are called. 10:30, they come. This is a very well-known safe town, and the police did not have a lot of resources, but immediately searches were started, flyers were handed out, and there is one pretty quick sighting of a man carrying a child to the ocean. Another quick sighting that was called in from a truck driver who cited that a blonde woman was seen putting a sleeping child in the backseat of another man's car. Now, there are multiple theories on this case. First one being that the parents were somehow involved in this. By the next day, cadaver dogs were sent out, and when walking through the McCann room, Madeleine's scent was picked up behind the bed, in the closet, and was even found in the trunk of the McCann's car. While the McCanns are no longer suspects for this case, it is a little weird. During all interviews after their child went missing, they rarely ever showed emotion. No tears, no crying, even some smiles and laughter after conversations about Madeleine going missing, which everyone grieves differently. It isn't to be assumed that that makes them guilty. It is also thought that maybe an accident happened with Madeleine. Either she fell or something that was non-purposeful. There is thoughts that maybe she went through an accidental overdose by being drugged just to help her sleep. I know it is sadly common for parents to give their child Benadryl to help them sleep. The next theory is that Madeleine walked out of the condo on her own and was either taken or got lost looking for her parents. And obviously to this we don't have any answers. The last theory is that of course she was kidnapped from her room. And whether that be from someone taking notice of the parents going back and forth checking on the children, or someone looking in and taking their opportunity. There is also concern that earlier in the day, 2 men came knocking on the condo's doors asking for money for a local charity for children. They did receive information that these men were lurking around and looking in odd places, but nothing was ever found to connect more than one man to this case. The last theory is that she was kidnapped and taken into sex trafficking. As the worst possible case scenario, it is still one of the largest leading factors in our world today. We do have new information. As of 2018, the main suspect in the case is Christian Bruckner. Now, while we don't know a lot about Christian Bruckner, we do know his multiple other cases, trials, and sentences. Christian's friend Helge Bushing ended up telling on many odd things found about Christian. It is mentioned that Christian disappeared for months after Madeleine went missing, and there are multiple videos showing women and young teenagers being tied up to a bedpost and essentially tortured. All of these tapes happened before 2006. He was then sentenced for 7 years for the rape of a 72-year-old woman. Another piece of intel that Helge had was when the conversation of Madeleine McCann's disappearance came up. Christian's first words were, in quote, "odd that she didn't scream." As much as I can understand an innocent way of saying this, it is still very odd and peculiar. A year after the kidnapping, it is allegedly said that Christian told Helge that he was somehow involved in the disappearance of Madeleine. While this is all alleged, he has become the main suspect of this case, and is not currently going through trial for the case, but for charges of 1 being aggravated assault, 2 others being sexual abuse of a child. My main hope is that the truth will one day come out and Madeleine can either be put to rest or be reunited with her family. Her parents, who are now